Hey everybody, it's me, Exotic Gaming. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today, I received a package. This isn't a very mysterious package. I'm sure you exactly know what's inside. Inside is the brand new Red Magic 9 Pro. Look at how shiny it is. That's freaking crazy. In today's video, what I wanted to do is test this phone out because they sent it to me and I wanted to see if it's good enough and something that I can recommend you guys to test out yourself. If you would like to purchase this phone, they did send me a link, and that link will be down below at the top of the description. You can click on that. It'll take you to the website, and then you can purchase this brand new Red Magic 9 Pro gaming phone, which might just be one of the best gaming phones ever created. So please leave a like and subscribe for more mobile gaming content like this, and let's get into the unboxing. So this is what the Red Magic 9 Pro's box looks like. It looks really cool, this gamer-looking metallic aesthetic. Very nice. Once you open it up, you're going to see just this random little packet here of some information, including the warranty and stuff like that. The regular stuff that you see with any phone when you purchase it for the first time. Then when you throw that away, you can see the phone. This is the Red Magic 9 Pro. I have the Cyclone variant, which has 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of memory, and it's the coolest looking phone I've ever seen. I've traveled to Asia, to countries like Japan, South Korea, China, Singapore, Thailand, stuff like that, and I've been to a lot of different phone stores. In Asia, they love to just show off the coolest looking phones, and still, this is the coolest phone, without a doubt, that I have ever seen in my entire life. Even more so than things like, the folding phones that have been coming out recently. I mean, this still looks like a regular phone, for instance. This one, on the other hand, it looks completely different and so much freaking cooler. However, yes, once you continue with the unboxing, you have this odd little piece of paper that has an anime girl on it. There's some QR codes that you guys can scan if you want to check out their social media. And then underneath everything, you of course get their signature red colored cable, as well as this big beefy brick that will charge the phone very, very fast. You're not going to have to wait too long to get this thing from 0 to 100%, and that's sort of necessary when you're gaming. You need to have a big beefy charger, but it really is the coolest looking phone I've ever seen in my entire life. To give you a brief overview of this phone, it's running with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, which is one of the fastest processors on any phone, period. So you're going to have like the best gaming experience ever, purely for that reason. It has one of the best cooling systems I've ever seen with any phone. It has a lot of internal components that are really well designed to keep the phone cool when you're gaming for a long period of time. I have a lot of phones that are really, really bad at heat management, and I almost burn my hands when I play games for a long period of time. That's not this phone. You can play for a long time and it doesn't really get too hot, and it's nowhere near as hot as an iPhone or other phones or even some of the older Red Magic models. It has a 6500 milliamp hour battery with an 80 watt charger. That charger that we talked about earlier, 80 watts. That's very powerful. It's going to charge your phone very quickly. And it has up to 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM and up to 512 gigabytes of UFS 4.0 storage. So lots of RAM, lots of storage. You can run a lot of different applications, and it's not going to just close out of everything super quickly. I currently have the Cyclone model, but there are two other designs. There is the Sleet model, which is the lower end one that has 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of memory. And then there is the Snowfall, which is identical to mine. It's just a lighter colored one. Here's another thing that's interesting though. This phone has a completely flat back display. A lot of phones have a massive camera bump, and then when you try to push it on a table or something like that, it gets really annoying because it wobbles all over the place. This doesn't. It's completely smooth where the camera is, and that's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that before on a phone, and it makes your gaming experience a lot less interrupted, and it's just a lot smoother. And talking about the display, if we move over to the front display, it has a 93.7% screen-to-body ratio. That's extremely high, and that means if you turn on the screen and you look at it from the top down, it looks like it's just screen. And you might notice that you don't see a front camera. That's because the front camera is actually underneath the display. I have not seen very many phones that have this feature yet. It's still in a very early stage for phones. That's why most of them don't have that. But this is really, really good for gaming because you're not going to have some random notch or this pinhole cutout that's permanently dark when you're gaming, you know? Now, unfortunately, when it comes to the front-facing camera, it is the worst camera I think I've ever seen on any phone. Obviously, you're gaming with this thing. You're not buying this thing to be a great FaceTime phone. But yeah, if you're looking for something that has a good quality front-facing camera, this is the one weak point of the phone. But the back camera, on the other hand, isn't bad. I'm inside and it's dark outside, so we don't really have great lighting. But still, I think this camera is decent enough. It's not the best camera in the world, but it's fine for most people, especially when it's outside and it has better lighting. Yeah, it's not bad. By the way, it looks like this phone has 3 cameras. It's actually 2. There are 2 rear cameras, the top 2. The first one is a Samsung 50 megapixel main camera, and then the second one is a Samsung 50 megapixel ultra wide camera. It's got a 960 hertz multi-finger touch sampling rate, which basically means if you're gonna touch something on the screen, it's gonna instantaneously react. I have a lot of more budget phones where if you press a button on the screen, it might be delayed, it might lag. That's not the case with the Red Magic 9 Pro. And yeah, now going back to the battery that we talked about earlier, it's a 6500 milliamp hour battery. It works really well. To be honest, I haven't really used this thing that intensively yet. I can use this thing for a long time before it starts to get to low battery. I mean, I have a lot of other gaming phones, even some of the older Red Magic phones. These things do lose battery pretty quickly. This one does a much, much better job, even better than, you know, my iPhone. For instance, this is one of the few phones that still has a headphone jack, which is really nice. Most phones don't have that anymore. It has a USB-C port. It has an HDMI port, which is great for people that like content creation. And then it also has a headphone jack. Super, super key. And honestly, one of the coolest things about the Red Magic is their whole gaming mode, where all you got to do is you got to just turn on this little red switch and it turns your phone into this like whole interface where you can launch different games, you can see your stats, you can fully customize all of your different controls. There is so much depth to this. It is impossible to talk about all of it in this video. I'm going to kind of just scroll through a bunch of different settings, show you all some of the different things that this phone offers when you're gaming. And one of the cooler things that this phone has is when you actually open up a game, you can just swipe from the right and you have another massive interface with so much customizability to make it the ultimate gaming experience. It's just freaking crazy. It looks so cool. And, you know, you have a lot of different things like, for instance, shoulder triggers, which if you turn this setting on, you can press these little buttons that are up at the top of your phone and customize exactly where you want those buttons to register on your screen. If you press the left one, for instance, it could be aiming and the right one could be firing. And that way, when you're playing games, you have less fingers on your screen and make it a more immersive experience. And there's so much more that you can do here too. You can turn on and off your fan whenever you want from this page. You can screen record from this page. You can connect controllers to your phone, keyboard and mouse to your phone, and I could just go on and on and on. The point is this whole game boosting menu screen is very, very advanced. There's just so much stuff I'm still learning more and more each and every day. And overall, it's just awesome. From the battery to the rear camera, at least, to the internal cooling system, to the whole advanced game mode that this phone has, to the under display front facing camera, the shoulder triggers, the 16 gigabytes of RAM, and all of the best highest end specs you could possibly get for a gaming phone. The Red Magic 9 Pro really is one of the best phones you can get for gaming. But what I would like to do now is show you all a few minutes of gameplay in a variety of different games, just so you all can get a good understanding of what it's going to look like when you play some of your favorite mobile shooting games. And yeah, so what I wanted to do is show you all some gameplay in a few different games here. I'm just doing a voiceover right now. We're having some COD Mobile gameplay in the background to start. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I lost my COD Mobile account not too long ago. It got hacked, and I'm starting from the very beginning. So I apologize for some pretty low-level gameplay here. I don't want you to focus on the gameplay as much, though. I want you to focus more on what it looks like, as well as how little lag it's experiencing and how snappy it is overall. I really don't know how to describe this other than I just felt like I played better with the Red Magic 9 Pro. And I know that's like a very cliche thing people say when they're testing out a new device.
especially if the company sends it to them. But like, I legitimately, and I'm being truthful here when I'm saying this, felt like I played better with this Red Magic 9 Pro. And maybe that's only because I had the Red Magic 6 before. That was my previous newest gaming device, and that was such a big jump. I obviously would have felt something better with the Red Magic 9 Pro, but like, if you have a pretty average phone and then you go to something like this, the top of the line gaming device, you are really going to notice a difference. I pretty much changed none of my settings. All I did is I just slightly adjusted my HUD to make it a bit more comfortable for 2 fingers, and it felt way snappier. Like, I'm able to kill people faster here in COD Mobile than I would with when I was playing with my Red Magic 5G or my Red Magic 6 that I used to make all of my COD Mobile videos on back in the day. And I still would have made COD Mobile videos on if I didn't get this Red Magic 9 Pro. So I don't know if that's just me living in this dreamland and making it seem better than it actually is, but if I'm just being honest and giving you guys my opinions over my gameplay that I experienced, I felt like I played better using this Red Magic 9 Pro. And that's coming from a casual player like me. I feel like you might even notice a bigger difference if you're a pro player. You use, like 6 fingers, for instance, in COD Mobile, and you're really a grindy player who tries to rank up super high in the ranks. With something like this, you can play for long periods of time, have a really long-lasting battery life, and it's not really going to overheat and start to lag at all. We're going to switch over here to PUBG now, and to continue on with that little trend when I was talking about the battery, when I was playing COD Mobile, I played for about 10 minutes straight, and I didn't lose a single percent of battery. I was still at 100%. When I played PUBG, I played an entire match of PUBG, which was about 30 minutes or so. I condensed it down to about 2 in this video, but about 30 minutes of gameplay, and I lost like 3% of battery. So if you think about that, 30 minutes is 3%, a whole hour is 6%, 2 hours is 12%. You can be playing for many, many hours intensively in games like this when your graphics are at like max settings and you're not going to be losing very much battery life. I would assume probably as you're playing more and more and more, it's going to start to lose battery a little faster, especially once you get down below like 90%, for instance. But still, the fact of the matter is I played for 30 minutes and lost only 3%, and I've never had that happen before. I literally have gaming phones that are a few years old at this point in time where I play a match in PUBG or New State or something like that, and I literally get down to like 50% battery life. Literally, I made a video on Warzone Mobile not too long ago with the older Red Magic device, the Red Magic 6, and that one lost like half of its battery in just one match of Battle Royale in Warzone Mobile. So that is such a massive improvement from the older Red Magic devices to this one that it is really worthy of talking about. And then on top of that, no matter what game I played, I never had my device getting super hot at all. It didn't matter if I was charging and playing or if I was just playing without it being charged. It was awesome, and it was not uncomfortable holding the device in my hand. We're switching over here for the last couple of minutes in Arena Breakout just to show you all what this game looks like with this device. It looks amazing, and turning on that 120 FPS just makes it such a smooth experience that, like, there's really no comparison. I mean, it's like the whole experience you would get on an iPad Pro, for instance, but, like, on a little phone, and it's freaking awesome. And to me, personally, I prefer playing on a phone. I don't really like playing on a big, massive device. I would play on a device, and I have in the past, but phone is usually my preferred method of choice. And having a phone now that's as powerful as a tablet is just incredible, and it is so much fun to use this device. I'm going to use this device a lot more for other games in the future. I'm going to test it out, and that's probably going to be the go-to device that you're going to see now for all of my future videos. So yeah, if you see games running well on this device in the future for my future videos, then it's the Red Magic 9 Pro. So stay tuned. Over the next coming months, future videos will be on this device, and that'll give you a better understanding of just how good this phone actually is.
And yeah, with all this being said, I think you guys can get a pretty good understanding of why this phone is freaking awesome. If you would like to get it yourself, I will be having a link down below in the description. You can click on that, and then you can purchase one for yourself. if you're looking for a good gaming phone, I would highly recommend the Red Magic 9 Pro. It's not necessarily got the best specs for like general everyday stuff, like, you know, the camera, for instance, but if you're a hardcore gamer and you're wanting something that's powerful that'll run all of your games to the best of its abilities, then this would be the phone to get. So, yeah, click the link down below in the description, and thank you again for Red Magic for sponsoring this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a like and subscribe for more mobile gaming content, and I will see you all in the next episode.